Belly fat is actually one of the most simplest things to lose. The problem is most men are just making it 10 times harder than it needs to be. And I don't blame them because there's so many different things online now telling you what you should and what you shouldn't do. Another compound to take, another peptide, another system which just is absolute nonsense, which is making it more confusing for you. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what you need to be focusing on to actually lose belly fat and get it gone for good. I've coached hundreds of men through this. Guys that have 20, 30 kilos to lose, and they've seen their abs for the first time in their life. They tried everything, convinced themselves that their bodies just haven't responded to anything they've done before, and this video will explain all. The fitness industry has a huge problem when it comes to this topic. Trending stuff like taking apple cider vinegar or doing special zone 2 cardio on a treadmill is going to burn belly fat, when the reality is it's super simple and you don't need to overcomplicate it. It's just nonsense that needs to be stopped, and you don't need to be spending your hard-earned money on a system that is just literally a calorie deficit broken down in its simplest form. Because that is all it is. It's boring, but it is just a deficit, but done in the right way to actually lose belly fat for good. Your body doesn't hold on to belly fat because you skipped having apple cider vinegar that morning, or you didn't have your green tea before bed. It holds on to belly fat because you're either eating at maintenance or in a surplus of calories. That is it. But in 10 years of doing this, across working with hundreds of guys, the ones that get the best results, they follow this simple approach. So the first thing you need to do is get your calories right. And the way to do this is find out what your maintenance calories are and then just go below them. Not by a ridiculous amount, not by doing aggressive dieting, but starting off with a simple 300 to 500 calories less per day than what you maintain. So if you're at 2,500 calories maintaining your weight right now, you would drop down to maybe 2,200 or 2,000. And then you would taper down from there until eventually belly fat is gone. Now, obviously that's a really simplified approach, but that is the approach which needs to be taken. Of course, when it comes to things like protein, you need to consider this. I'd recommend anywhere between 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. So if you're 180 pounds, you're looking between 150 to 180. And then everything else just fills in around that. You don't need to stress about your carbs. You don't need to worry about your fats. You don't need to worry about silly supplements like apple cider vinegar or green tea. You need to focus on your daily protein and calorie intake. And that's the first thing you should always think about. The next and most obvious thing is you need to build a structure around this. Anyone can have a target, but can you stick to it is the most important question. And the reason why most guys fail is not because they don't have a lack of willpower, it's because that system that they try and follow, or that structure, it works for 1 or 2 days and then it just stops working totally. So you need a nutrition structure that works around your life, your job, your kids, your career. All of those things, they need to be taken into consideration when you're trying to lose fat. The routine of a bodybuilder who trains 5 or 6 days a week is probably not going to be the routine you need, as maybe potentially a dad watching this who is in their 30s or 40s with limited time. When I sit down with clients and the results that we get, we build the routine that they can stick to, whether that's fasting, whether it's having breakfast, whether it's having bigger meals before bed or smaller meals. All you need to figure out is that routine for you based around those protein and calorie goals that you've set. And by the way, if you want us to set this for you for free, there's a link in the description which will set your calories specifically for you with a protein and calorie goal, with training programs, tracking sheets, and a 7-day process that you can follow off the back of it. Now, the next and most important thing when it comes to reducing belly fat is staying in the deficit for long enough. Not a few weeks and losing a few kilos. That's never going to lose the belly fat. If you're holding 10, 20 kilos of fat, the likelihood is you have a long time to go with dieting. You need to realize that actually staying in that deficit and keeping on going with it is the key here. It's not just trying to do these magical things that don't work. Take, for example, this client here, Joel. He had to lose 23 kilos to eventually see his abs for the first time in years. What we did wasn't anything complicated. We just kept losing fat until his abs finally showed. He didn't do endless crunches in the gym. He didn't take any supplements or peptides or certain routines. He just followed that calorie deficit until his abs finally showed. That's the long and short of it. And again, we had this here with John. It's the first time he's seen his abs in years. He's recently had a child, and this made it even harder. But once losing all of the fat that he had, and it was a lot of fat, he's finally seen them. And this is just purely down to the consistency of following a deficit for a long enough period of time. What I want you to take from this video is how simple it can be to lose your belly fat for once and for all. Like, ultimately, it is just a case of carrying things on rather than trying to do these special routines that just are a waste of money and a waste of your time. So let me be straight with you, because I think this is important. You don't need to waste your time or money on supplements. There's no meaningful research to say that when you're in a deficit, adding those things on top of it is going to really help. You don't need to do a 24-hour fast once per week just because someone online said it's great for burning belly fat. You just need to stack up simple routines rather than adding more complex things to your life. So if you're watching this and you've been spinning your wheels, and trying different things and it's never really truly worked out for you, you still have the belly fat that's been there for years, our free guide in the description will help you exactly with what you need to do. You don't need to be handing over thousands of pounds to people's special system that really is just not going to get you anywhere. It's the same process that I follow to get in shape when I want to see my abs. It's the same process that Joel and John, like I've shown you in this video, follow when they want to see their abs as well. When you go to the link in the description, you'll then choose where you're at with your current body fat. You'll then get your meal plan. You'll get a protein and calorie goal. You'll then get training sheets. You'll get tracking sheets. You'll get me in your inbox for 7 days giving you advice that's going to help you from where you are right now to where you want to get to. And I guarantee it'll be better than anything you've ever paid for. So go and download it. If you like this stuff, subscribe to the channel as well, because there's more where this is coming from.